Ganga, the river that washes all the sins from our body, the river that supplies water to 40% of the Indian population, the river that attracts millions of pilgrims from all over the world during the Kumbh Mela, the richest river system known in the world for its biodiversity, the most sacred river in the world, or the sacred river which is crying for help. Today, we will know about the most sacred and one of the most polluted river in the world, the holy river Ganga. In the northern part of India, Ganga begins at the confluence of Bhagirathi and Alaknanda rivers in the town of Devprayag, Uttarakhand. After covering a distance of 256.9 kilometers, the river enters the holy town of Haridwar, where some of its water is diverted by a dam for irrigation purposes. After reaching Haridwar, the river travels a 900-kilometer long path to the city of Kanpur, and on its way another river Ram Ganga joins it. The river course then takes a mighty river to the city known for the famous Kumbh Mela, the city of Prayagraj. There the river joins the 1444-kilometer long river Yamuna and the underground river Saraswati. At their confluence, the Yamuna contributes about 58.5% of the combined flow, as it is larger than the Ganga. The confluence is known as the Sangam and is considered holy in Hinduism. From Prayagraj, Ganga heads towards the east and enters the oldest city of India, the city of Varanasi, where it is worshipped by thousands of devotees and holy men every day. After leaving Varanasi, the river heads towards the Ganges Delta in West Bengal and Bangladesh, with many more rivers joining it on the way. The Ganges Delta has a mind-boggling area of 64,000 square kilometers, which makes it the world's largest delta. From here, the river ends up in the Sea of Bay of Bengal. This journey from Devprayag to the Bay of Bengal is 2,704 km long. Being one of the longest rivers of India, it's also the most sacred one. Hindus revere the river as a goddess whose purity cleanses the sins of the faithful and aids their death on their path towards heaven. The banks of the river in Haridwar and Varanasi are always gathered with pilgrims and holy men worshipping the river and taking a dip in it. Ganga water has a magical property that it doesn't get putrefied even if you store it for decades, which is why in 1800s the British sailors insisted on collecting drinking water from the Ganges for their journey back to the Britain. Apart from its religious significance, the river has also become a dumping ground for many industries and individuals. People just throw anything which they don't want directly into the river. They do so by their own will or at the name of the religious rituals. Also, many industries discharge their untreated waste directly into the river stream. From its starting point to its ending point, Ganga is constantly polluted by nitrates and heavy metals like lead, zinc, copper, cadmium, chromium and aluminium. Ganga gets most of its pollution from the cities of Varanasi and Kanpur. The $12 billion leather industry in Kanpur discharges its untreated chemical waste directly into the river, contaminating it with nitrates and heavy metals like chromium and cadmium. The concentration of chromium, cadmium and other heavy metal is so high that it has turned the Kanpur Ganga water into a black deadly cocktail. Even the locals here avoid using the river water for their daily use, as it causes multiple diseases related to stomach and in some cases loss of sight and hair fall. This process of contaminating the river continues in the city of Varanasi, where 200 million liters of untreated human sewage is released directly into the river every day. Because of this, water here has large concentration of fecal coliform bacteria, which is 120 times higher than the safe limit. People living in these regions suffer from urinary tract and skin infections. Rituals like throwing of bones and ashes of the deceased one also contribute in polluting the river. Dead bodies of pregnant women, kids and holy men are left to float free on the surface of the water to decompose, as their bodies are not cremated. Poor people who can't afford the cost of cremation also throw the body directly into the river. Besides pollution, Ganga also faces many other difficulties. There are 16 mega hydroelectric dams on the Ganga basin. Another 14 are under construction and 54 more projects have been proposed. These dams are not planned for the ecological flow of the river, which has resulted in drying large parts of the Ganga. In March 2016, Ganges almost dried near the delta, which forced a 10-day closure of a major power plant and created critical water shortages. The aquatic life in the Ganges river has already been warning humans for a very long time. In the past decades, Ganga has lost its major fishes and other aquatic species. Its famous Ganges dolphin, gharial crocodiles and many turtles have been declared as threatened species. Day by day, Ganga is losing its magical properties because of the pollution and low amount of water in the river. We take water from the rivers and give back sewage. Telling Ganga is getting impure is offensive to some people, but we have to realize the truth as the future of Ganga rests on the shoulders of our generation. In the end, we would like to give a shout out to Swapnil Tiwari who suggested the topic for this video. If you like our video, give us a thumbs up, and if you are new here, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also follow us on Instagram and Facebook.